Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet. And this is Madden 18, the Dallas Cowboys franchise, and this is episode 23 as we're getting the first part of the offseason, and that is resigning our players here on the ball club, trying to see which guys are worth coming back for another season here with us, as we just got done finishing the first season here of trying to make the Dallas Cowboys America's team once again. And there you see all our re-signing players that we have to go with. Now, over the course of the year, you would think, yeah, we would try to re-sign some of these guys, but for the most part, I try to see what they are at the end of the season of their overalls. Are they going to be worth it for us to sign and whatnot? And we got a couple guys that we are going to try to re-sign now. Guys that we're not going to resign, of course, Kellen Moore is not going to be one of them. We're not going to have him come back. Dan Skipper is another guy that we have no interest of coming back for next season. So you see his numbers there. He's a right tackle there. We're going to go ahead and try to either find somebody on free agency for that position, or if anything, it's probably going to be the draft for the most part. And then Joe Looney, our backup center there, we're going to negotiate with him. He's not asking for too much, at least to me, it doesn't seem to be too much. He's a 71 overall, so he's still got some time there. He can work on his skills there. But we're going to try to sign him a deal. And there you see the fair offer that you can give him. So we went ahead and signed him for 3 years for $6.3 million. We gave him a $640,000 signing bonus to sign with us. So I thought that was a pretty fair deal with us, as we do got quite a bit of cap space here. And we're not going to, of course, we can't re-sign everybody. That would be nice, but I usually try to sign guys that are somewhere around for depth. If we can find a guy that has some good depth and his numbers look certain areas in his game that I feel comfortable with, then we'll go with it. If not, then we won't re-sign like we won't re-sign with Hewitt there, Neville Hewitt, who is not going to be with us next season. A former Marshall or a right outside linebacker. He will no longer be with us. 3 years pro. And so we're going to go ahead and let him try out free agency. Jonathan Cooper, the left guard there, 74 overall. He is definitely a guy that we're going to try to re-sign here. And I think he is, 28 years of age. So I think a 3-year deal working with him, that'll put him around 31. 29, I guess, is the age here in this year's Madden, is where you kind of start seeing guys kind of regress and taper off there. So we're going to go ahead and sign him to that contract there. He agrees to it. Kadeem Edwards is another guy that we're looking at, 75 overall, and he is a left guard there. Look at his numbers there. He's 27 years of age. We're going to try to sign him to a long-term deal to get him right there where he is going to start kind of start to digress some. As you see there, his development is quick, so he's going to get quick development there. So he's going to be a guy that we can get. He could be a starting left guard there real quick for us here, probably by the end of next season, possibly. But there you see, he likes the offer there. And of course, these guys, I try to move my offensive linemen if they're better on one end from another. So I don't always keep them where they're, originally are starting at in the game. Wide receiver Brice Butler. Now this was a tough one. 92 speed there. I wasn't for sure if we were going to keep him around there, and I was like, you know what? If he's still out there on the free agency, then we'll go with it, because I kind of want to slim down the wide receiving core. I kind of want to have 4 wide receivers and maybe anywhere from 2 to 3 tight ends. I do like my tight end sets there, so that's something we're going to look at. But we do not sign. We let Butler go, but like I said, if he's still out there in free agency, then and he's worth it, I think he'll get a decent deal, a decent deal with us, we'll try to re-sign him. Elliott, there you see his numbers there for the left outside linebacker. That is the linebacker core is really something we're really going to be looking at here. I know one of the players that I kind of want to get a hold of is Aldon Smith, and I think if we have enough cap, I think we could try and go after him. But for right now, we're going to sign these guys here because they're the linebackers there for the first half, and then a little bit through the second half there, they were really stepping up there. Justin Durant, I mean, I don't know where he went off to. 32 years of age, 11-year pro. He, I don't know where he went off to. Jalen Smith just really pretty much took his position. But what we're going to do is we're going to put him instead of, I believe, to the, I think he was on the left-hand side. We're going to move him over to the right. So he's going to be there with Sean Lee. He's going to help him out over there. On the right hand side there, so that's gonna be nice. But we're gonna go ahead and sign Durant to a 3-year $6.84 million contract. Now Elliott, we did a $15 million contract for 4 years with him, and I didn't realize, I just didn't mention that. But Durant, 32 years of age, his numbers, some of his numbers have digressed some, not too many, but I think with a veteran presence like him on there, and also too, not to mention he's 75 overall. He's a little bit of good trade bait there. We can use him, trade down the line there for somebody for a draft pick or pretty much for a draft pick. We can use him for later on if we need to. And then this was the one I was talking about in the last episode of the Insider there. Darren McFadden. I mean, what a year he had with us. Really stepped up when Elliott was on suspension there for those 6 games. And really, I mean, out of those 6 games that he was played in, McFadden, I mean, really every single game he was really phenomenal. But I think there was 2 games in particular. I can't remember exactly what 2 games was, but I know there was 2 games for sure that he had over 100 yards in the game. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. I mean, this guy was the Darren McFadden of the days in Arkansas. So that was so cool to see him come back to do that. So we went ahead and signed him to a 2-year deal, $4.12 million. Not much there, so that's going to help us out in the backcourt and also help us out try to to scout some younger talent for next season. David Irvin, the defensive tackle there. This was another guy that was kind of up in the air. Originally, I had him on my list of guys that I was going to go ahead and release, not worry about re-signing. But then I started thinking, I'm like, he's a young guy, 25 years of age. If we sign him to, a 3 to 4 year deal, he's 76 overall. And start really this season, we're going to start working on packages here a lot more, giving these backups a lot more opportunities in different play packages. So like a nickel play package, something like that to get him some experience and some exposure out there, because pretty much every guy on the field, on both on offense and defense, is going to be in a set package, so they can get some experience and get them out there. So I said, let's go ahead and just work with let's get David into a certain package, and I think we're going to work with him in that. But we decided, we're not going to do that, and we're just going to go ahead and just not re-sign him. Let's see what else. Because at first I did have him. I was going to sign him for 3 years for $11 million, but then I was like, no, I'm not going to. We're not going to go that way. We might go to a different direction. And then Kyle Wilber, there you see the left outside linebacker there. Wilber will. Okay, never mind. Well, yeah, hang on. Let me finish Wilber. 3 years. We look at there. You see 11.4 mil. And he decides, he's going to go ahead and go with that. As for Irwin, we go ahead, and as I think about it, I don't show it here, but I actually renegotiate with him with a deal. I believe it's 3 years, $11 million, with a 1.35 signing bonus there. So Alfred Morris, a guy that I think I mentioned in the last previous episode of the Insider there. A guy that I kind of question on some things. Great runner, but then there was a couple of games, I think even the Super Bowl, he had a fumble there, which really is not like him. So we decided, you know what, Morris is a good runner there. Let's try to see, if anybody goes after him. We'll let them test out free agency, but for the most part, we're not going to re-sign him. So we go ahead and release him. And unfortunately, he's not going to be one of the guys that we're going to be. It's not going to be part of this three-headed monster that we're going to try to create there in the backfield. I decided to go ahead and try to go for the draft, or even free agency there, because I know there's quite a few guys that looking at free agency, because of course some of this I've already done already. But with free agency, there's quite a few free agents there out there for us that we can possibly try to re-sign and go after. But Byron Bell, there you see there, the right guard there, he's re-signed for 3 years, $7.71 million with a $680,000 signing bonus there from us. Going on to some others, guys. Here we got about 4 more players to re-sign here. Hitchens, there you see 26 years of age. We decided to get him into a long-term contract, I guess you could say, which is about 5 years, and we're looking at about $14.4 million. And him, not worry about signing bonus or anything like that. He was wanting to be on a team for a little bit of a long term of his career. 78 overall, great middle linebacker there, and he's been really practice wise. He's been really doing a good job there. And a couple games there, he was really showed his presence there, and we're hoping that he will be like that next season. And Kadeem Paea, they're 30 years of age, 6'1", 7-year man from Oregon State. We go ahead and we're going to re-sign him to a 2-year deal. This will probably be usually these guys around these 30 years of age. That's the tricky part of this. When they're around that age, they start digress some. But then other times they might digress. They might take a big digression, and then they start taking a slight incline into certain areas. So that like I said, that age, it's kind of tricky because you don't know which way they're gonna go. So we go ahead and we sign Paea to a 2-year deal of $11.2 million. He had a pretty good year with us on the line there. So we're gonna go ahead and go with that. Keith Smith there. We decided to go ahead. 26 years of age. We decided to go ahead and lock him into. So he's about 29 years of age. 4-year guy there from San Jose State. We signed him to a 4-year, $6.36 million contract. And last but not least here, DeMarcus Lawrence there. Just a great guy coming off the edge there, who just did so much for us this season. Had some really epic, good, solid sacks there, especially that game against Seattle. The first time we played against them. And I mean, he just some timely sacks there, the going in on blitzes and just stopping the run there. He really helped us quite a bit there. So we decided, let's lock him into a long-term contract, and that's what we did. We went ahead and gave him a 5-year, $25.6 million contract. That's the biggest contract, the hugest signing that we had this offseason here. We had a couple of, we had 14, 15, actually 2 15s in this one. But we had quite a bit of money, and I decided just to kind of make a splash for it. So, in order to get a championship, you gotta start spending some cash and go with that. So we don't have to worry about defense as much. Signing guys, I guess next year we can focus on a little bit more on the offensive line. There's some areas in the offensive line that I kind of work on, but for the draft, or I should say for free agency period here, we're gonna look at possibly we're gonna look at halfback. We're possibly looking at halfbacks, possibly looking at quarterback. I know a lot of people are going to get upset about this, but there is one quarterback that I have in mind that I do want to go sign, and that is Mr. Colin Kaepernick. I want some veteran presence in there. I want a guy that has experience in postseason. And I think just having Kaepernick back there as another quarterback that can run. He may not have the best throwing power, especially deep passes, which is fine by me. Don't have to worry about it. But the short passes there, intermediate passes there, that is something he is good at, and that's something I want to work on. Because right now I really don't want to draft another quarterback or get a second string quarterback. That I don't want to. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a journeyman kind of like Fitzgerald or something like that. But looking at some of what they're asking for, they are asking for some high dollar money there just to play a backup role. And Dak is young enough. He's been doing well, even though he did have a little bit of sophomore slump here. I just didn't think that was reasonable for us. But if you guys know any quarterbacks that you think I should sign, let me know. If not, we are going to go after Kaepernick. I will let you guys know that. And then also, too, we're going to look at possibly offensive linemen, preferably, I believe, on the the left-hand side. And also, possible, if we can find a decent halfback to run the ball, we're going to do that. If not, then that's going to be pretty much the draft. And then I'll let you guys know what we're going to do in the draft after we sign these guys here in the offseason. So, coming up in the next episode 24, it will be offseason. It will be free agency. We'll look at some free agents, and we'll see who we're going to have coming up for this season next year. So, that's it for me, you guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Dallas Cowboys franchise here on ESGNet. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. The links are down below in the description. Also, check out more of the series. There should be a full video of the Super Bowl game that we just got done playing. And again, if you guys have any ideas of other guys that we should sign, let me know down below in the comment section. That is it for me, you guys. As always, keep yourselves each other healthy. And if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. Also, share the video and get the word out about ESGNet. That is it for me. And again, as always, keep yourselves each other healthy. And I will see you guys next time.